Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. It's so nice to have you here. Today I'm making a video on how to look expensive without spending a penny, without opening up your wallet and taking out your card or your cash. I really gave it some thought and I have created a list full of 2 pages of tips and tricks, and the way that I approached it is literally like looking at a person from head to toe. So we're gonna dive deep into this, starting out with your hair. When it comes to your hair, I think it's very important to have it clean, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wash it like every single day. You could use your dry shampoo, but when you're put together. So the way that I like to have my hair is literally just like in waves like this, but my hair is naturally so frizzy, and especially in the summer, I really have to like fight my frizz. And so I have developed a couple tips and tricks on how to tame your frizz. So I like to style my hair as normal, and as you can see, I will insert a clip here where you will see all the frizz and the little baby hairs and flyaways that I have going on. What really helps me is taking just normal hairspray. I don't necessarily have a favorite one. I literally just go to the drugstore and pick out whatever hairspray is honestly on sale, and I just take that. And I spray it not directly on my hair, but on my hands, and then I kind of like do this, and I just tame my hair carefully. And another really good tip is to take clear mascara and fix the frizz like up top of your hair. So I usually like to go and fix my frizz that way, and it's really good with baby hairs as well. When it comes to hair color, usually try to stick to natural colors. I don't think like bright pinks or bright green hair colors look expensive. Your body odor also matters, obviously. And when it actually comes to smelling and perfumes, less is more. I feel like this is a common sense. But having said that, make sure that you're always wearing a deodorant. I always have a deodorant like in my purse. By nature, I'm just a very sweaty person, and no one really knows that. And they're like, oh, Maria, like you smell nice. And I'm like, thank you. That is the greatest compliment I can get, because you have no idea how much effort it goes in to maintain my sweatiness. One of like my favorite scents that I like to use, one second, I'll get them and I'll show you them. My everyday scent that is trendy and youthful, I really like the Le Labo scents because they're very unique. My tip to save money is to get their body lotions, because they actually last a lot longer on your body. I think, just from my personal experience, this is Rose 31. I love this scent so much. I also like Santal 33, I think, but it's currently sold out. That is like my next purchase from Le Labo. I never have purchased their full-size perfumes because I can never justify spending $300 or $500 on a perfume. And this really smells wealthy and unique and powerful, and smelling nice just gives you like an extra like level of confidence boost, I think. So, but if I'm going to like more like older like functions, like work, corporate world, I have been loving, this is like my staple perfume. I always go back to it. I have another one here that is wrapped because I'm running low on this one. This is the Dior J'adore perfume. I love it so much. I know they have different versions of it now. They have like a Joy one or whatever. I stick to the original one. Like I just, oh my God, I miss it so much. Like when I was working in the office like full time, oh my gosh, this is too much. When it literally went in my mouth. That was disgusting. J'adore smells nice, but it tastes disgusting. But one thing to note is that this is not for everyone. I know this is like a more sophisticated and older type scent, and I've been told that all the time, but this is what I like. And also, if you mix the Rose 31 with J'adore, it's a really good combination as well. Now let's talk about your face. When it comes to makeup and your face in general, keep it neutral. Usually if you are doing your makeup, you have to pick one or the other. So if you want to emphasize your eyes, then you got to play down your lip. If you want to emphasize your lip, then you got to play down your eyes. If you do both, then it will look too much and just like too in your face, and it doesn't look expensive. And let's talk about fillers and Botox. I feel like this is still like a taboo topic to discuss, but if you are getting things done to your face, and I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have done things to myself. I know so many people that do it, and we all kind of keep it a secret, but if you do get things done to your face, make sure you do your research and you go to a professional who is not gonna ruin your face, especially with Botox. Be careful with Botox. I've seen so many bad, you know, like cases where like they inject you and like you can't smile or you can't like lift your eyebrow and whatever. So make sure you do your research. You are spending your money already, so make sure that you spend it for quality. Now let's talk about teeth. I feel like everyone is drawn to happy people. We want to be surrounded by people who are smiling and all of that, and having good oral hygiene is so important. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to upkeep my teeth with Crest whitening strips. And for anyone with sensitive teeth, I have a tip for you. So what I like to do is I don't completely fold over the strip onto like my back teeth, because essentially that's what you're supposed to do, and I think that is why my teeth have been sensitive. So what I've been doing for years, and this really works, and my teeth haven't really been that sensitive at all now. So what I do is I actually cut the strip and I make sure that there's only a little tiny bit of the material left to fold over your teeth, and that helps tremendously. Try it. I've given this tip out to so many of my friends, and they all are happy with it and they give it an approval, so try it out. Let's talk about the neckline. If you're gonna be wearing jewelry, make sure to stick to simple jewelry. Something that is very, you know, like heavy and just like in your face, that doesn't scream elegance or like an expensive taste. It's always usually with wealthy people, it's all about in the details, and they love the details. So I don't know why I said that, but you know, it's all in the details. So if you're wearing a leather jacket that has silver detailing, silver buttons, go with silver jewelry, because again, details. If you're wearing something gold, if you're wearing a gold purse, or you know, a jacket that has gold detailing, gold buttons, whatever, then switch out your jewelry for gold pieces. Now we're onto the torso. So wearing pieces that fit you well. If you are shopping for pieces, make sure that you're buying pieces that are fitting you well. For example, this white shirt that I have on was from H&M. It's like $30, but one of the things that I like about it is that it fits well. One of the things that you want to look at is where the shoulder ends, like the seam. You have to make sure that it ends at your shoulder. You know, the buttons close properly around your chest area, and your sleeves are not too short. I rolled mine up because I have like shorter arms. So that is kind of the point. Again, one of the things that I do want to mention is when it comes to your outfit, you have to pick one or the other to emphasize. So if you're wearing a skirt, you can wear a shorter skirt, but you have to like not expose your chest area or your cleavage too much. So if you want to emphasize your cleavage area, there's nothing wrong with that, but make sure that you're then wearing a longer like bottoms. On the note of your clothing, one other thing that I do want to mention is that if you're going to a nice function, or just in general, you're stepping out of your house, make sure that your clothes is ironed, cleaned, and there's no makeup stains on it. Your clothes smells nice, and it is wrinkle free. As you can see in the before and after picture here, wrinkle to no wrinkle, big difference. So what you could do here is just get a small portable steamer. Like I got my steamer on Amazon for like less than $20, and I could take it traveling with me. It doesn't take up much room in my condo anyways as well. And here's a tip that is kind of life-changing when it comes to steamers. You know, when you're steaming your shirt or whatever, like the steam makes that clothing item slightly damp. What you can do to avoid that is get a sock, and what you do is you put it over like the top nozzle part, like so, and now you can steam away, and then all the moisture is just going to be trapped in the sock and not on that clothing item that you're steaming, and it is kind of life-changing. So make sure to take that one away from this video. Now we're moving on to shoes. And my grandma used to tell me that a person greets you by your shoes, and that always kind of like stuck with me, and I make it a habit now to make sure that I never leave a house without, you know, like checking my shoes and making sure that they're tidy. Shoes are important, and especially with heels and like shoes like this, I do want to show you, like, you know how sometimes you have scuffs all around it? Like over here, I've really like worn these out. But what helps with getting scuffs off of like leather shoes like that, a nail polish remover on a cotton round, and then wipe it down, and usually that resolves the problem. but make sure to like test it on the side of the shoe where like make sure that it doesn't dissolve the shoe. But honestly, this is a pretty safe tip. I cleaned my more expensive heels and my cheaper heels as well, and they all kind of worked out fine. And one other tip that I have for you guys that I didn't really know until like a couple years ago, once I started to really be submerged into the corporate world and be exposed to like a lot of like fancier functions and dinners and all of that, is that your heel size matters. And there is an appropriate heel size for daytime. So this would be a perfect daytime shoe because the heel is smaller. This is also a perfect daytime heel because the heel is on the smaller side. However, the nighttime shoe, like a nighttime dinner or function, could be much higher. And as you can see, there is a big difference between these shoes, nighttime and daytime. And a classy, very sophisticated lady definitely knows a difference between a daytime and a nighttime heel. Again, I don't think it's like a make or break type situation, but if you really want to like up your game, make sure that you have an appropriate heel size. Now let's talk about your fingernails. Your nails have to be clean, and they don't necessarily need to be done with like polish. I like to have my nails done, and I probably go like once every 3 to 4 weeks to get my nails repainted and kind of get a manicure. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go and spend crazy money on getting your nails done every week and all of that, because that is a lot of upkeep. I totally know. A color doesn't matter. Like you could go for darker colors in the fall, I think is appropriate. But usually like when I've seen very like wealthy ladies, they've all had like neutral colors. So that is just something to note. And if you have chipped nails, I think chipped nails are a no-go at all. So to me, it's better to have no nail polish at all on your fingernails than to have chipped nails. The next tip is all about body language. I think one of the things that I was told, and again, it resonated with me, is that 80% of our communication is not verbal, it's through body language. So the way that you carry yourself and the way that like your body is in general conveys so much more to a person than what you're actually saying. So make sure that you are comfortable in what you're wearing and how you're feeling. When you are put together, you feel more confident. And one of the things, again, like make sure that your shoulders are back, that you are relaxed, like not tense. You are self-aware that you know, you're not like using your hands too much. Use them to like make a point or a statement. One other thing is don't cross your hands because it comes across as you're guarded and not secure. Also, I read this book by an ex-FBI agent, and he said that most of our communication is actually through feet. But over time, as humans, we learned that we can control our faces and our expressions to fool people. And also, obviously, hands, they are at the eye level. So you also kind of like try to control your hands a lot, but your feet is something that we don't consciously control, and your feet tell you a lot. So if a person is, you know, putting their feet behind the chair legs, that means that they're trying to hide or that they're on the edge, they're not fully comfortable. If the person's feet are like very flat on the ground and spread apart, that means that they're like, you know, like getting annoyed or aggressive or just trying to like assert dominance. If the person's feet are relaxed and pointing towards you, that means that they're comfortable with you. If the person's feet are pointing towards a door or another person, like they might want to leave in that direction, or that they prefer that other person. So I thought those were like interesting things to kind of like know. Now, my final tip for you guys is all about communication and actually using your voice to speak. So if you are going to a very like fancy function, try to get rid of any swear words that is not classy or elegant, and also stay away from like any like acronyms like BRB or TTYL, or using words that are like kinda, like, cause, or whatever else there is. So that is all that I have to share with you guys in this video. I'm sorry if it was a bit too long, but hopefully it was informative. I did really give all of these tips some thought and try to tell you everything that I know. And these tips, again, don't cost money, so I hope you like that. And I will see you in my next video very shortly. Bye.